Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 with Southport in the Championship. We are on the 31st of January, so the transfer window has opened. It is almost closed. I think it technically closes on the 1st of February. We have done a fair amount of business. We've also played a fair amount of football. We've won a fair amount of football, which after the last episode is a bit of a surprise, and that's because we've actually changed our tactic. There's a lot to go through in this episode, so bear with me. We're just going to have to fly through it all. First bit of news, let's get it out of the way quickly. Our assistant manager, Stuart Pearce, Psycho, has left and become the Nottingham Forest manager, which is, he was there in charge back in 2014-2015. He was obviously a player there back when he was a lot younger. He was actually a player manager as well. He's left, so we've got ourselves a new assistant manager. Some guy called Paul Stevenson. I don't really know too much about him. He just kind of got hired because I get my director of football to do my staff, and then I replace them when I get fed up with them. Transfers then. JLP. He has left the club, signing for Championship rivals Middlesbrough for quite a lot of money. £3.5 million, potentially rising to £4.5 million. Even though he was basically one of our mainstays for, 4 years I think he was here for? So yeah, signed back in League 2. He's played a hell of a lot of football for us. £4.5 million doesn't sound like a lot of money, but considering he was worth £1 million, that's actually a reasonable return on actually how good he is. We haven't really reinvested in a midfielder because I'm hoping we've got Zlotmiske, we've got Fagioli who's been out injured for a while, so I'm hoping he's not going to be missed. Two players have also left the club on loan deals. Antef Sungui has gone out on loan to Cardiff until the end of the season. He wasn't playing a lot of football, he was getting annoyed, so we've loaned him out. They're paying some money for him as well, so we're not actually losing any cash from him. Also leaving the club on loan is big bad Bartosz Cebulski, the 23-year-old Polish striker, 6'6", who propelled us through League 2 and League 1. I say propelled, he didn't really propel us through League 1, did he? He scored 6 in 42. Basically, one of our star players from the League 2 era has gone out on loan to Newport County until the end of the season. He just wants some football. I thought, you know what, let's give him some football, let's play him somewhere else for a little bit. He's still got a 4-year contract, so he's going to stick around for a very long time. Also, this man, Asan Daidu, has gone out on loan to Billericay. He needs football. He's not going to get any at Billericay. The first of 10 players to join the club in January. So far, there's still some more time to go. Connor Savage signed from our favourite club in Northern Ireland, Cliftonville. He has come in for a small fee, about 80,000, 83 in total. I think there might be some other sell-ons in there as well. 19 years of age, 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. Probably won't see a huge amount of football. Connor Savage might loan him out. Somebody wants him. Who wants him? Ebbsfleet. Yeah, he might go out on loan to Ebbsfleet. Next up is a real footballer, which is something of a rare surprise for me. Daniel Labilla, formerly of PSG, or currently at PSG in real life. He's signed for £20,000 because he's out of contract at the end of the season. He's immediately gone and got himself the flu, so he hasn't actually played for us just yet. But I think he's a reasonable option. I wanted to get some more players, basically, who could play as strikers. Labilla is one of the 4 that we might have bought in January. We bought a lot of strikers. 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He might get some football. If he does, I think he might score a few goals as well. Another striker to join the club is English striker, attacking midfielder and central midfielder. He can play a bit of everywhere. He's mainly a striker, but I'm probably going to employ him as a left winger once he gets trained up enough. Is Julian Consigliero, possibly. He is only English. He might be Italian. He's Gibraltarian. Well, there you go. We've got ourselves a Gibraltarian. Signed from Spurs, £200,000, I think it was. £220,000. Probably could have got him for free if I actually just used my brain and realised that he was out of contract at the end of the season. I didn't realise that, so yeah, we've paid some money for him. Probably too much, but he looks alright. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential on Julian. Already scoring 1 goal in 3 appearances for us so far as well. If you watched the last episode, you would have known that we put in a bid for Nikiwe Mzizi. He has returned to the club. We paid £145,000 for him, and we had a 50% sell-on in there, so we actually only paid, 170, not even 170, 77,000, something like that, I don't know. Some number. We got half of that money back. He's not going to play a lot of football, but he does count as homegrown, which I don't know whether that's even relevant anymore. It might be. 2.5-star current ability, 3-star potential, 22 years of age, so he's probably getting close to where I'm thinking I might want to sell him, which is weird, because I've only just bought him. But, he's here as a backup. Ezio Spadaro has made his loan deal permanent. It's been a long time coming. Ezio's been here now 3 seasons in total. We've spent £600,000 on Ezio. He's fairly consistent as well, averaging about a 7 or 6.95 technically, if you want to look at that, across the 3 seasons so far. He's played 2 further matches since joining on a permanent deal and scoring his first goal of the season as well. We know all about Ezio, 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential, going to be our first choice left back for a couple of years to come. It wouldn't be a transfer window of mine without signing a random footballer from a random nation. Honorato Monteiro is an 18-year-old Angolan central defender, signed for about £20,000. He was knocking about in the Angola national side, and I looked at him and went, he actually looks alright. Click, I can actually sign him without paying any money. And I basically offered him a contract, and then, do you want to buy him now? I went, yeah, sure, buy him now. How much is it going to cost? 13k, something like that. So yeah, Honorato Monteiro has Monteiro maybe. He's joined on a free transfer, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential for this young Angolan. Probably won't play a lot of football this season, but in a couple of years' time, I think he's going to be really good. And another player who was very similar to Monteiro, whatever his name is, Nenad Milosevic. Nenad Milosevic, there you go. Signed from Budapest in Hungary? Montenegro. He has, once again, he's another one of those players. He was available on a free at the end of the season for £26,500. You can't really go wrong. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. He is a 6'5" right back. I've noticed this a lot with this game. You always seem to get massive fullbacks, absolutely gigantic fullbacks. Milosevic is an example of this, and I'm going to keep him as a fullback because he's actually reasonably physical. He's got some decent numbers there. If we stick that on wing-back support, I think he can probably do the job. Needs to learn how to cross and dribble, but he is only 19 years of age, and he already has 1 cap for Montenegro. 2 players joining on loan from our feeder club, Everton. Next, Cameron Hargreaves is the first one. He is a defence midfielder, 21 years of age, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, and I believe he's out of contract at the end of the season. So if he's any good for us, we might sign him on a permanent deal. He has yet to play a game for us because he signed about 3 days ago. So yeah, he's not actually played anything just yet. But I think he gives us another option in midfield. I literally said earlier, we haven't strengthened our midfield. We've signed Cameron Hargreaves on loan. He's alright. Somebody who's a little bit better than just alright is Matthew Williamson. The Everton midfielder is what we'd probably call him. He can play as a natural midfielder on the left or a natural on the attacking midfield right. He's probably going to play on the left-hand side as an inside forward for the most part. He's basically been brought in to give Rock Murray a little bit of a run for his money. Although, looking at some of his stats, I wouldn't mind possibly trying him up as an advanced forward, because he's not too far off from Sebastian Millet. This is Sebastian Millet. Let's just do a quick comparison. Let's just see. I mean, Millet's... They're very similar. They're very similar, you know. Could we play Williamson as a striker? That's probably a bad thing to do, but we might try it. Unfortunately, unlike Hargreaves, Williamson's contract with Everton doesn't expire for another 3 years. So yeah, we're not going to pick him up anytime soon, but we might be able to loan him for 3 more years until his contract runs out, and then he'll sign for some massive club, probably in Spain again. And finally, our biggest transfer that we've done possibly ever, which I didn't realise until I actually confirmed the deal, because I thought I was playing as Sampdoria, where we actually have a decent amount of money. Ivo Kazakov has signed from Bota Plovdiv, a team that I actually did a save on Football Manager 2 seasons ago, maybe even last season. He looks pretty decent. I brought him in because he's just a natural attacking, advanced forward. That's why I brought him in. He's cost £1.8 million. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. I'm fully aware of this. Probably shouldn't have brought him, but I'm thinking he might be good enough. He's played 3 games already, scoring a goal as well. 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential compared to our current squad. He might not be around for too long, but if we can get him scoring some goals, we can bump that value up. Maybe shift him on in 18 months' time. I think that's all the transfers that we've done. Pretty sure. Connor Savage, Kazakov, Spadaro, Labilla, Consigliero, Menzizi, Williamson, Hargreaves, Monteiro and Milosevic, and yeah, you can see the loan deals as well. As for fixtures, things started off really badly in the year of 2026. We lost 4-0 against Reading in the FA Cup 3rd round. I think Reading are a championship side. Yes, they are. We beat them 1-0 earlier on in the season. We lost 4-0. We were still playing the same formation that we played against West Brom, Burnley, Swansea, and basically everyone else. And now I went, I've had enough. It's clearly not working. And as you can tell from the next 3 results, what we did seemed to work. We beat QPR 3-1. Mendes, Consigliere and an own goal from Timlin. We beat Newcastle 2-0. Rourke Murray and Luis Veladrez. We beat Crystal Palace 2-0. Kazakov and Spadaro. And one thing to notice with those teams, particularly Newcastle and Crystal Palace, they're first and second. I didn't realise this at the time. We beat the two sides who are literally fighting at the top of the table. We beat them both. Both of them. One after another. So it means, for today's episode, which is going to be Bristol City and maybe Sheffield Wednesday, depending on how long this is going to be. It's a half-hour episode, okay? We're like 10 minutes in. You've seen it's half an hour. Just deal with it. It's going to be Bristol City. It's going to be Sheffield Wednesday. And hopefully we can win both of them as well. We're actually really good defensively with this formation. You'll see it in just a second. Steve Bruce then is in charge of Bristol City, who find themselves rooted to the bottom of the table. Why are we playing a team that are rooted to the bottom of the table? We're going to lose, aren't we? They've beaten Forest, Millwall and Barnsley. They're going to beat us. I can just feel it. They're in poor form. Of course they are, because they're bottom of the table as well. We're in decent form because of the 3 victories we've just had against Palace, Newcastle and QPR. Remember this formation? If you don't, you didn't watch League 2 through to the Championship, because I'm pretty sure this is what we played pretty much for the first 4 seasons, maybe even 5 seasons of this save. This is what we were playing. So it's Karamoko, Kone in goal. A back 5 of Ezio Spadaro, Mendes, Helio Junio, Rafael Afonso and Clifton Miller. Will come back to Junio in just a second. Miske and Fagioli will be the central midfielders. Fagioli has not played football since about September. I'm hoping he's going to do alright in his return match. Consigliere will be our attacking midfielder with Rourke Murray and Asquith Hurdle as our strikers. Helio Junio is a Brazilian who we signed a few seasons ago now, apparently 3 years ago, apparently. He threw his toys out of the pram, because I wouldn't accept a £4 million bid from Watford. If Watford are bidding £4 million for Helio Junio, I think he's probably got a decent amount of potential. And having a look at his mental stats, I'd probably inclined to say that yes, he does. Technically, he's not the best, but mentally, he's definitely there. So we're going to give him as much football as we possibly can between now and the end of the season. And hopefully, come the summer, he doesn't want to leave us and he's quite happy because he's getting loads of football for us. Like I was saying earlier, we seem to be really good defensively as well with this formation. We've conceded once against 3 sides, and 2 of those sides are literally first and second in the table. I didn't mention, we are currently 4th. You probably saw earlier. We're 4th in the table. We're still a reasonable distance away from the automatic promotion spots, but we are nestled right in the middle of the playoffs, so I can see playoffs probably being what we're going to get. 26 minutes on the clock. Spadaro to Fagioli. The 2 Italians combining, but Fagioli loses the ball. Helio Junio forward. Fagioli heads the ball down to Hurdle, maybe. Hurdle does keep it in. Back to Fagioli once again. Across to Spadaro. He's played a ball towards the back. Can't quite find Rourke Murray. Consigliere goes for a long-range effort. Asquith Hurdle has to get there. Hurdle does get there, but unfortunately, Asquith was offside. Was he offside? I feel like he probably was. Yeah, he was definitely offside. Bright start. I say start, it's half an hour in, but we've had the first chance. It's ended up in the back of the net, but it hasn't actually counted. 5 minutes to play of the first half. Miller with the ball finds Spadaro on that left-hand side. Back to Fagioli. Now Consigliere. He's gone for an absolute waffle of an effort. Hits it over the bar. Consigliere's having some decent chances. I think this is his second start for us. We've dropped down to 5th because we can't beat Bristol City. At half-time, it is 0-0, but we've had the best of the chances. Let's give them an assertive I'm not happy. And let's also do that. We also said something up to Helio Junio. Pressure's off. Fair enough. 42 seconds into the second half, and we've already got ourselves a highlight. Rourke Murray to Fagioli. Forward to Zlot Miske. We've got Clifton Miller on the right. Does use Miller into the penalty area. He's only got Hurdle to go for. Back to Consigliere. And once again, the English and Gibraltarians' effort is just wide of the post. He's having all the chances and missing all the chances. So Consigliere is going to come off. It's going to be Williamson coming on. I don't really know whether Williamson can play that position. He's a winger by trade, but we're sticking him in the middle because he's really good at football. Time is flying by in the second half. We're not doing a huge amount. We're not even getting a lot of highlights. We've literally had 2 for the whole match. Spadaro with a throw. 15 minutes or so still to play. Williamson has it. The Everton loanee finds Zlot Miske, the Hungarian. Now Rourke Murray. Clifton Miller in the penalty area. He's got 3 to choose from. Back to Miske. And Zlot Miske makes it 1-0. His 3rd goal of the season. A lovely cartwheel from the Hungarian as well. We've got 12.5 minutes to play. Pretty sure the fact that Bristol City have yet to register a shot on target means pretty much going to win this one. Hurdle's going to be coming off for Kazakov. We're also going to do Milosevic on for Clifton Miller. I know it's a bit harsh on Miller, who's on a 7.9, but I want to give Milosevic a match. Afonso with a free kick. We've got 4 minutes of injury time. Miskay, the goal scorer, finds Fagioli, who we probably should have substituted. Kazakov's in on goal. Kazakov gets his second goal of the season. He's already starting to repay his £1.8 million. He needs to score like 30 to probably repay all of it. But he scored twice. There we go then, a 2-0 victory against Bristol City. Once again, a clean sheet. We've won the last 3 matches 2-0. Last 3 matches 2-0. Clean sheets all round. We've only conceded once in the last 4 games since changing to this formation. We might be sticking with this for a while. Well, that victory then puts us on to 66 points. We do stay in 4th place. Burnley, what did Burnley do? Were they away from home? They were. They lost 3-1 against Sunderland. Crystal Palace, I've just seen drew 0-0 with Rotherham. Newcastle, I know we're probably looking a little bit too high up, have extended their lead at the top with a 3-0 victory against Sheffield Wednesday, who are going to be our next opponents in this episode. I've won an award. I've won an award for Top Boss. We've got 100% win ratio, QPR, Newcastle, Palace and Bristol City. We've actually won Manager of the Month. It's the first time this year we've done it. We've literally been 3rd place and that's it. How have we only ever been 3rd? We're 4th in the table. It's transfer deadline day and Huddersfield have just bid £12.5 million for Morten Jessen. He's not even playing for us. What? £12.5 million. He must have a lot of potential. To be fair, I didn't even get to do anything. Oh, apparently that's his release clause. Well, Morten Jessen's clearly leaving on deadline day. Well, the transfer window has closed and Morten Jessen has signed for Premier League side Huddersfield for £12.5 million. £12.5 million. He's not that good, is he? I mean, he's alright. He's alright. He's not £12.5 million worth of alright though, is he? We've also done a little bit of transfer business and we've signed Luis Veladrez. I said probably in the last episode that he was going to cost too much money. We've just got £12.5 million. It's fine. We've spent £700,000 on Veladrez. To be fair, I feel like we're just paying Barnsley back. We've had him on loan for 4.5 seasons at this point. 700k probably seems fair. We paid 100k a year and then 300k to keep him permanently. That kind of makes sense. So yeah, Veladrez is here now on a permanent deal. He's getting paid a lot of money, but he's probably one of our best footballers. Straight in then to match number 2 of the episode, Sheffield Wednesday, who are in worse form than Bristol City apparently. They have lost their last 5. Newcastle, Portsmouth, Burnley, Cardiff and Southampton, scoring just 1, conceding 614 goals in their last 5 matches. This should be interesting. The starting lineup then for the Sheffield Wednesday game, it's going to be Karamoko Kone in goal. A back 5 of Spadaro, Mendes, Javier Leal, Rafael Afonso and Nenad Milosevic. It's going to be Hargreaves and Miskay in the middle today with Keith Hall, Asquith Hurdle and Kazakov as our strikers. Hurdle I've stuck on the right hand side. He's going to be trying his luck as a false 9 because he's clearly not very good as an advanced forward at the moment. Kazakov, however, loves to score goals. I want to see just destruction, just pure destruction. I want 4 or 5 goals in this match. In order to get goals, we do need highlights, and we are 25 minutes in. Nothing at all. Finally, we've got something happening. Hargreaves with the ball in his first start for his new club, Southport, that is. Spadaro has it on that left-hand side, tries to cross it in, can't manage it. And now Ollie McBurney, the former Swansea man, misplaces his pass, and Ivo Kazakov gets his 3rd goal of the season. We're 1-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday. 4 more goals now, please. 4 more, and then we'll win 5-0. The fact that we've taken the lead because of a misplaced pass is it's kind of annoying. I'd like to actually beat them properly. Half-time, we are just 1 goal to the good. Kazakov with his 3rd goal of the season. Let's give him a calmly. I'm not happy. Somebody seemed demotivated. Afonso, well, fine. Miskay's on a 6.5. Hurdle is on a 6.6. We're going to stick Rourke Murray on that right-hand side. He's going to be the false 9. I'm thinking as well we possibly do that for, I don't even know, let's not play around too. We don't need to do 16 subs at half time. Rasmussen with a free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. They've almost managed to squeeze the ball in underneath Karamoko Kone, but he makes the save. It's not looking particularly good, is it? Let's give him a get creative. McBurney crosses the ball in. Ojo's there. Afonso's just pushed him over. Afonso's pushed him over. It's a penalty. We don't really get to see what happened. McBurney against Kone. Come on, Karamoko. Karamoko goes the wrong way. It's 1-1. Ollie McBurney makes up for his mistake in the first half. I literally said I wanted 5-0. We're going to draw. We're going to draw with a team who don't score goals. Miskay's coming off. Clifton Miller is going to come on. And our midfield is now a complete mess. Great. What am I doing? Change of plan. What we're going to do, Rourke Murray is going to drop back to be, sure, the deep line playmaker. Hargreaves can be the box-to-box. Williamson is now going to come on instead. He's going to be the attacking midfielder. Keith Hall will move up to be the striker with Kazakov next to him. It's not going well. It's really not going well. Let's give them a demand more. It's Sheffield Wednesday. They haven't won a match in 6 years, apparently. Well, we are the draw specialists, but I don't really expect to, be drawing games against teams that we should beat quite comfortably. We're going to drop down to 5th place as well if everything stays this way. I'm just about to do a substitution. I've seen that the time is 62 minutes and 14 seconds with 3 seconds to play. I mean, what? Just do something. It's a 1-1 draw. It's not a good performance at all. Every single one of our strikers, again, apart from Kazakov, didn't seem to perform at all, did they? We literally brought on Murray and Williamson for Hurdle and Hall. And, Murray and Williamson got a 6.5, which is worse than Hurdle and Hall. You're getting an angry shout, because that was not good enough. I'm also going to shout at Zlot Miskay individually, because you're abysmal. So after that 5-0 victory, well, 1-1 draw, it was a 1-1 draw, it should have been a 5-0 victory, we've dropped down to 5th place because Brentford beat Middlesbrough 3-0. See, they know how to score goals. They know how to score goals against a good team. We couldn't beat a rubbish Sheffield Wednesday side. We've dropped down 5th place, 67 points on the board. We are now just 5 points behind an automatic promotion spot because Crystal Palace can't seem to buy a win. Newcastle also lost to Reading. Burnley beat Rotherham, so it's getting very tight at the top. The top 6 can go absolutely any way. That's going to do it for this episode. Probably, like I said earlier, half an hour long. Next episode, what are we going to go for? Brentford. It has to be Brentford, doesn't it? It's going to be Brentford and it might be Middlesbrough. That's what we might go with. Also, we have our youth intake to look forward to. If we have a quick look, we've got the magic words. The magic words. This is a terrific group of players coming through and has the potential to be a real golden generation for the club. I don't know whether that's good because golden generations, when you're a below average side, means you might get 3 players good enough for the championship. Golden generation when you're like a Chelsea or an Arsenal or Manchester United or so on, means that you're going to have some world-class footballers. Golden generation for us, we might get 1 or 2 Premier League standard footballers. We'll find out, hopefully, in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2020 with Southport. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back next time with more Football Manager.